Hey friends, welcome back to Sherry's Simple Living. I wasn't going to record tonight, but I decided, since I was making these keto Parmesan pork chops, that I should be making a video. So, we're making a video. Friends, these pork chops are so easy. They all bake with the broccoli on one sheet pan, and I'm using a Pampered Chef stoneware pan. So I've only got 4 pork loin chops, so it ended up having like a lot of garlic and cheese, but it was still so good because the recipe calls for 8 pork loin chops. But all you need is the pork chops, some minced garlic, whether you want to chop it or use the jar kind, some Parmesan cheese, some butter and olive oil, and then a bunch of broccoli to throw around the side. That's it. It's so simple, and it was done in like 20 minutes. So an easy, quick work night dinner. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to the bottom of the pan so nothing sticks. Next, we're just chopping up the broccoli into whatever size bites you want. I like mine a little bit smaller. Then we'll mix up the mixture. And then I season the pork chops a little bit before the mixture also. Okay friends, this is the topping, and you want to put the topping on the pork chops, and you put the rest over the broccoli, like just kind of sprinkle it here and there. So it was 2 tablespoons of butter. Mine was a little bit more. Then 2 tablespoons of olive oil, half a cup of Parmesan. I used Parmesan Romano blend. And then it was 5 tablespoons of minced garlic, salt and pepper. And then I also just seasoned the pork chops with salt and pepper, and I think I put a little onion powder. I'm not sure. also add thyme and parsley, and then once it's done, it says to add more parsley to the top. I didn't have any fresh parsley, so I'm using dried thyme and parsley. I add some to the mixture with the cheese and butter and oil, and then I also add some all over the pork and veggies at the end before we put it in the oven. The reason why I'm seasoning around the pan also is because that's where the broccoli is going to go, and I want the broccoli to get seasoned also. And I love my Kingsford garlic and herbs, so I went ahead and add some of that too. Okay, I flipped the pork chops over, seasoned the other side, and I didn't season it as heavily on the other side because we're going to be adding this mixture on top and it bakes into the pork. So next we're adding the mixture, then the broccoli, then we're ready to get it in the oven, which has been preheating at 350 degrees. Okay, friends, spread a couple tablespoons of the mixture onto each pork chop. I'm using pork loin chops because they were on sale, and I bought the whole pork loin and sliced it into chops and left half as a roast. Anyways, you can use bone-in pork chops too. You can use whatever. You could even use chicken, but this was specifically the recipe for pork. Anyways, add your stuff. Add a little more of the thyme, add your broccoli all around it, and put the remaining of the mixture on the broccoli. It's not going to cover all of it fully, but once the broccoli shrinks and all that butter and cheese melts into it, it's so delicious. After this, cover it for 5 minutes with foil, and then after 5 minutes, take the foil off and cook them for 10 minutes and then check the temperature. I cooked mine for 15 and they were like at 180, so they were totally done. They didn't end up being dry, but I could have cooked them, I think, 10 minutes more and they would have been perfect. I guess everybody's oven varies, so use a thermometer and make sure you check the temp, because you definitely want pork to be above 145. All right? Friends, this came out so good. It was garlicky and cheesy because I added even extra cheese right as you saw at the end here. It's really tasty. I would definitely make this again. On the recipe, it says you can add it to the broiler for like a minute to like crisp it up, but I really didn't think it needed it. It was really good just how it was. Cheesy and garlicky. So if you like those two in a combo, then definitely give this quick dinner a try. Thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate you. Bye.